Yo, what is up, guys? You're listening to the Wavers Podcast, a podcast that answers the unanswered. Ivan Lim, also known as Teacher Ivan Lim, who specializes in teaching IGCSE Maths and Maths, who is the founder of NextGEN Academy. He is not your typical kind of teacher, having 2K followers on Instagram, posting motivational tips and tricks for maths and maths. To be honest, this man needs no further introduction. Welcome, Mr. Ivan.
Yo, what's
Woo.
up, Derek?
Welcome.
Good to see you.
Yeah, I've been this is the second time since we spoken through the camera like this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
throughout the classes I had with you, it's like nobody turns on the camera. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
good to see your face now again. I know
yeah,
you're one of the students who always turn on your camera at the start.
at the start. Yeah,
Yeah,
so congrats on your recent engagement and hope everything goes smooth. Yeah, so
married already, not engagement
oh,
wedding.
sorry, married. Yeah, congrats on that. Mm.
Thank you.
Yeah, so shall we get started? Right, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right, so the first question, right, I have for you would be why teach maths and maths of all subjects?
Because maths is the language of the gods, man. Yeah, no, I think from what I studied last time, I've always been fascinated with numbers, maths, and yeah, making sense of the world from the point of view of numbers. In short, actually, I can score for maths lah, and I can teach maths. So, and I think I have found this skill over the years or so as my high school, college, uni. People always come up to me and like my friends and ask me, hey, how to do this, how to do that.
Oh,
And I realized I can make something complex simple. Lah. Yeah. So
mm,
so that's why I continue doing it until right now.
wow, wow. So you have always been the maths guy, the the one that always have the brain for maths, is it? Because
uh yeah.
yeah, because I know for a
Yeah.
fact that maths not everybody can do lah. Especially,
Mm.
I'll say honestly, I before meeting you, I went. My parents sent me for multiple of tuition centers, from Collins to countless lah. And
Mm.
it's I have never improved this much after consulting you, getting
Wow.
getting knowledge from your lessons. And yeah, your system is just so well planned, having Thinkific
Mm.
full of recorded videos of uh subjects and topics, so it really
Mm.
helped me. Mm. So
Yeah, that's great to know.
yeah,
Mm.
I admit that maths is not something that everybody can do.
Mm. But you need to at least have the basic knowledge of mathematics in
Correct.
life.
Yeah, that's where you come in, right? Right, so
Yeah. So yeah,
mm,
yeah. Actually, I didn't. I mean, a fun fact is actually I didn't start with just math. I was good. I would say in both maths and the sciences, like
oh,
physics specifically. Yeah. So actually, I over the many years I was teaching physics and chemistry also, because I graduated with engineering. So yeah, it's always been my joy lah also to impart the knowledge. So and I feel very happy also hearing from you that I managed to help you. So this is what keeps me going. When I teach, someone applies it and then someone be successful.
mm,
And when you achieve your goals also, then that's what keeps me going lah and motivated to help more people.
that's good. Yeah. So that's your, I'll say, covers the explanation of what keeps you going in teaching math. Am I right?
Mm.
Yeah.
I
Right.
think
So
just teaching in general lah. Mm.
mm, so you taught physics before?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Right. So you mentioned something about your engineering background, right? I have researched about you, and you in multiple interviews, like in the Table Talk, Mr. Money TV, and BFM Radio, you mentioned that you came from a civil engineering background and a job in a bank. So my question is, why did you leave that aside and started your own tuition center?
Hmm. Okay, so my journey from college to uni, uni I did engineering because my dad is an engineer.
Oh, okay.
And the honest truth is that even though I was good in studies,
Right.
I still didn't know what I wanted to do. So for whoever that's like feeling like right now, like what to do for your future at all, it is totally normal because after I graduated from uni, I actually still don't know what I wanted to do. After completing a 4 years degree,
Mm.
which is a very, very long journey. Then I went into banking because I was offered a job there. In fact, actually, fun fact also is there's a lot of engineer in the banks because of the systemized and way of problem solving, and they like lah this kind of people. So somehow I joined a competition that I during my last year of uni, because I was actually working a lot. And I realized that I did have a lot of activities in school. So I decided to join this competition organized by Maybank, which is the biggest
Oh,
bank in Malaysia.
wow.
Yeah. And then it
Mm.
was like a business kind of competition. I went in, me totally zero business background, went in, and I remember the first stage I came in number one. I was like, okay,
Wow.
maybe I can solve problems. But I didn't win the competition. I remember the competition, the prize money was like the first team got about like each individual had about like 16, 17,000. So 16, 17K at 20 over years old is quite a lot of money lah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't get the money, but
You
yeah,
got a
because
job.
it was compete. Yeah, they offered me a job when I graduated. Yeah, so I decided to just take the leap. Still didn't know what I wanted to do. I thought that the bank got a lot of money because the bank gives money. That's where you store money, right? Um, yeah, but yeah lah, don't go into the job just because of money lah, because it won't keeps you going. And yeah, I had a very good career path, I would say, in the bank. But at the side, I was always teaching. So I was going actually, yeah, I had a lot of school students from international schools. Actually, all my students are from international school. I never taught the government school syllabus. So last time, what I'll do during my Maybank days, I would go to work, and then nighttime, I remember I would drive, brace through the jam like for an hour just to go to my student's house
Wow.
somewhere in Mont Kiara,
Oh,
and then I'll teach him for like 1.5 hours like that.
okay.
Then by the time I reach back, it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock already.
Oof.
Yeah.
At night.
Yes, at night.
Wow. So, yeah, speaking about your time management, right? Is to me it's a bit like bizarre, lah. It's like how do you teach? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that you
Mm,
teach part time in an international school as well, and
mm.
teach levels from year 9 to 11 along with your gym routine. So how do you manage these in your schedule?
What does Nike say? Just do it, man. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think no, I think for I learned it over the years also, is to manage your time wisely lah. And what every single day I'm also still learning. One thing to do is to prioritize like what's the most important task to do every single day. And it's as simple as putting it in schedule. So whatever I want to do, like today, I'm gonna do this podcast together with you. I make sure that it's on my Google Calendar. Last
Right.
time I remember when I student days, I used to write it a lot down on like a planner like that.
Mm.
So every single day, I will roughly have an idea. Right now, because I am managing a lot more things, yeah, and also to include my gym routine. So I have to see, okay, what what is my priority? For me, health is priority. So health, I should put it number one.
Mm.
And I like this routine lah. Over the many years, yeah, I think since I joined this gym, the gym opens at 6 a.m. So I try to go to 6 a.m. class. Having a community of friends there also it helps. And then yeah, everything is scheduled in my life. So people might be thinking also, wow, if you put everything in schedule, then don't you have freedom? I think when you have in control of your time, and that's when you get freedom lah. Only people who don't have control in their time, they feel like their whole life is a bit chaotic. One. So I always tell students also, I remember, yeah, especially when you all plan for your exam, is to really schedule your time, prioritize, set a goal, try to aim this before deadline. Because in life, everything is also like this. When you go to work next time also, your boss will give you a deadline. If you run your own business next time also, your clients will give you a deadline. Yeah, so I think having schedule is to achieve whatever that you want to achieve.
Well said. Then okay. Um. Right. So I heard that you also sold snacks as a side. I think. So what really happened? What really happened? About your snacks business, Hou Sek Gourmet Snacks. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, um, yeah, so I was a jack of all trades. So during during my banking days, I remember seeing this opportunity lah. So I just like to eat. So I enjoy good food. So I remember one day my friend, she came back from Singapore, and all of us went to gym after that. Then she came back from Singapore, she brought this snack, and we went to Village Park Nasi Lemak.
Mm.
Yeah, you know where's Village Park, right?
Uptown.
In
Yeah.
Uptown. Yeah. Yeah. So I remember after that we makan already. Then she was like, "Hey, everyone, you all try this lah, and it's a salted egg snack." And and then she was like, everyone in Malaysia is like lining up for this snack. So I took a bite, and I was like, oh, this one okay only lah. I mean, it's tasty, but it's not like super great. Then I asked her how much is a packet, and she told me like $7 Sing.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Wow.
$7 Sing. So $7 during that time, I think it's like times three like that, or times three something.
Mm.
It's like 20 over bucks or $25 for a packet of like a really small packet of snack. And I was like, that's madness, because I've never paid beyond 10 ringgit for a snack. The most expensive snack that I've paid for was probably a bag of Lay's potato chips, which is super big also lah. And then it's only like 10 or I think 12 ringgit during that time. Long story short, I was like, okay, I think from young also, I somehow had this brain lah, I would say, or to see opportunity to make money. So I always try to earn my own pocket money also, even from young. Yeah. So during Maybank days, I remember it was during actually my first year of work. Was feeling a bit lost, so and then I was like thinking, can I make this as a business? So my goal was very simple. I was like, my starting job is paying me very little. Okay, so don't expect to be a millionaire lah. Okay, when you go for your first job and all. Okay, if you watch all this YouTube, what Iman Gadzi, all this
Yeah.
to earn a million and all. Okay, it doesn't work well that way in in reality. It can be if you start a business, but not when you work in a corporate, even in a bank. Yeah, so I just told myself, I every month I just want extra $1,000. $1,000 for me is a lot of money during that. And because with extra $1,000, as a young fresh graduate, 20 over years old, I think I can also save up lah to do a lot more things. So it was my midnight grind every day when I come home. Like I was sharing with you, right? I work, I taught tuition, and then nighttime also I was building this business. So it's really
Crazy.
midnight. Midnight I had to Google lah, because I don't know how to build a snack business.
Oh.
So my mom and her friends all very good cook.
Mm.
I asked my mom first. I proposed to my mom this business idea. I was like, Mom, uh can you be my business partner? I say, can you make snacks for me?
Okay.
Then she was like, no, no, no. My mom is also a teacher, so she's a Mandarin teacher for a very long time already.
Oh.
And she said, No. Don't get me involved in any business. Because both my parents don't want to do anything in business lah. Maybe they hear stories and all, cause it's not easy.
Yeah.
Then she was like, why not ask this Auntie Sumin? Okay, so this Auntie Su lah, I call her.
Okay.
So Auntie Su, I asked her, I say, hey, I tried this snack. I let you try a bit. Do you think you can replicate it? Yeah. So during that time, in context, it was this salted egg potato chips and salted egg fish skin. I
Mm,
only had two products,
okay.
and coated with salted egg.
Okay.
Yeah. So I asked her, and then she was like, okay, we try. I think quite easy to do. So she researched a little bit. Also, she did R&D. Yeah, I had some money to that I budgeted. So she had a kitchen already. So she's actually in the F&B industry. So for her also,
Oh.
I proposed to her, like, I say, hey, every month I earn 1,000 extra, you earn 1,000 extra lah. Quite good, right? You don't need to do anything, and you just cook for me already. Then I pay you.
Okay.
Then she also like, okay lah, a young guy, right?
Mm.
Yeah, and then, yeah, telling you too long a story, too detailed already. Okay, anyway, started the
No
business,
worries.
with just, I think, like a 1,000 ringgit, hiring a designer to do the packaging, going purchase this packaging from, I forgot from where already lah. Again, from Kelantan or somewhere. I basically Googled everything,
Mm.
pack it up, went to a bazaar on a weekend, and then I went and sell snacks. So I was known as the snack guy for
Quite some
quite a number of years.
time.
Yeah. Long story short, we sold out lah. Okay, during the first weekend.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, okay, this my like I was earning this amount. Okay, I just show you don't say how much, okay, but was it earning this amount in the bank?
Right.
Over one weekend, I made 5 figures, like in just 2 days with
Oof.
this amount.
Really?
Okay.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, there's an opportunity over here. So I kept grinding on without knowing how to do F&B business also lah. So I just keep on doing. That is
So,
the story of my snack business.
is it still operating today?
Uh, no, not anymore. I actually just closed down the entire company.
Oh.
Because for me, to be honest, I accidentally built that business. It was just the right timing. Yeah, it wasn't something that I could see me doing for the long term lah. And I'm not from food background, so it's very hard for me. And food business is very hard. Yeah, so like, I mean, no business is easy, but for me is that unless you really feel that you have a huge passion to be in the food industry, go start a food business. Otherwise, it is very, very tough lah. Because we Malaysians, we are spoiled with options.
Yeah.
You try one time already, very, very hard that you go back another time. Unless the food is like super, super good.
Yeah. So in your case, I will assume that it's super good because first weekend is all sold out. And
Yeah.
would you say that
Yeah.
this snack business is do you earn more from the snack business or what you're doing currently right now?
Oh. What I'm currently doing right now.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
so
let's put like passion and everything aside. Let's talk about monetary figures, not figures, but just monetary things.
okay, short answer, yes.
Oh wow, okay, but it's not what you want to
Yeah,
do, lah.
for what? The food?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think also because I've always had a passion for teaching. So even from college days, I've been teaching, like, during. But I did, like, students like you. Last time my students was just 2 years younger than me.
Wow, I see.
Yeah, now my age gap from y'all is getting further
Bigger.
and further. Y'all can call me uncle already right now. Okay, so yeah, so I've always thought that uh teaching cannot earn money. Yeah, so that, because I look at all my teachers, last time I young, I very rebellious.
Mm.
So I told myself the last thing that I want to do
Is
is
to be
become a teacher. Yeah, because I didn't like all my teachers, and I was a very rebellious student. So I always go against my teacher. I know the answer already, and then I purposely go challenge my teacher. Yeah, so teachers also don't like me lah, because I learned a lot of things from my tuition teacher. So I know there were few mentors. I always call them mentors lah, which is my teachers. Who really helped me, I would say, unlock my mind to see things differently. Like in terms of mathematics, why the way I teach, I feel like it's also different. I try to make things simple. Is because of the way that my teachers lah, these few teachers, um, really taught me to think, to solve problems. Going back to in terms of, I would say, passion and money. If you want to talk about business, I've actually been doing this for the past 15 years, the teaching part. So yeah, I think right now whatever I am earning, it's pretty comfortable. Uh yeah. And if you were to talk about like with whatever I earn in the food business, you have to understand food business, the margins is not a lot. Meaning because the cost of goods is very high.
yeah.
So you have to have your inventory, you have to do production, you have to do marketing. So a general rule of thumb in the food industry is that yeah, 1/3 of it will be already your cost lah, of the goods. So 2/3 you use for other things, whether to pay for your staff, whether it's to rent a space to do your production and all, or to have your cafe. Yeah, so food industry, even if you make like, let's say, 1 million, okay, maybe your take home salary is not a lot also.
So revenue will be high lah, but the cost of production will be killing.
It's also high lah.
Oh, okay. Right. So you
Yeah.
mentioned about rental, right? Rental for cafe and whatnot. So
Mm,
this always questions me. I always have this question that one day or the other, I'm sure that I will ask you this. Like, why did you decide to teach your lessons, your maths lesson and maths lesson online, and why not in a physical tuition center like how the traditional tuition centers do it, like Collins and whatnot?
mm. Okay, great question. Um, I used to do it physically, but because COVID happened,
Right.
right? COVID happened, so students cannot come and see me already, right? Or I cannot go and see them.
Mm,
Then during I would say COVID, MCO, the lockdown, students were everywhere lah. Were students that I never met before. So because I guess I created some content here and there, like on Instagram, on YouTube. And then students say, hey, teacher, you really helped me prepare for this and this exam. Because I was just actually doing it with my students, and I just recorded it, and then put it online. And they say, can you teach me or not? So I remember one of my first few students, when they found me online, yeah, then they were like, okay, I don't mind paying you the same amount. You just teach me lah. And actually, online and physical, it's at the end of the day, I would say, what is the goal? The goal is to get good results for your exam,
mm,
right? So as long as I help you achieve that goal, whether it's I do it physically or online, it doesn't matter, right? Because the mode, physical and online, is just another way of conducting, like transferring information from me to you.
mm,
Okay,
right.
this I'm talking about specifically education. So yeah, so I after from MCO, I mean, since I didn't have the physical commitment and all already, then I continued just doing lah online. And then right now, actually, we have students from about, I would say, about 10 countries in NextGen itself. So with doing online also, I guess got pros and cons. Pros is that I don't have the personal touch with you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we cannot shake hands, we cannot give buddy hugs and all, okay? Or I cannot look at your whatever that you're doing
Yeah.
during live. But at the meantime, also I can impact students from all over the world and nationwide also lah.
Right.
So my reach is a lot more when I do online.
I see. So, do you mind sharing what are the 10 countries? What are the 10 um, international students that you teach? Which countries are they from? If you mind um, telling us.
Okay, which country? Got Germany,
Wow.
Hong Kong, China, Indonesia, India. Yeah, I cannot remember lah. I have to look through my list. I don't have my list right now. Where else? My students. UK. Okay, UK students. Angmo, UK one, and another 4 more countries lah.
Mm. So they don't mind the Malaysian slang, the Singlish and all.
No lah, when I teach them, then I'll cut the last and all.
I see.
But they still understand. They still understand whatever I'm teaching. I'm not an English teacher. I'm a math teacher. So
Right. Yeah.
as
Okay.
long as they understand whatever I'm saying,
Mm.
yeah.
So earlier in this podcast, you mentioned that you teach. Most of your students are international students, right? From international schools in Malaysia. So why teach IGCSE syllabus and not SPM? SPM being
Mm.
the national final examination before you go to college.
Okay, good question. Also goes back to my very first student last time. So how I got into teaching was because I was a young guy who don't know what I wanted to do with life. And then one of my my church leader, he was like, "Hey, I heard you're very good in studies. I got quite a number of students." So my this church mentor lah, okay, he was also in the education industry, and he could only teach until lower secondary school. So he has students from national school, IGCSE and all. So this guy, his name is Melvin, and then yeah, he was like, why not you teach some of my students? I pass to you. Happened that all these students are all IGCSE. And I'm from
Oh.
national school. Okay, so I didn't study IGCSE, but I realized that actually the mathematics is pretty similar. The SPM syllabus and the IGCSE syllabus during then lah, during that,
Then,
pretty similar because both also is from UK, right? So I decided, okay, just get a couple of IGCSE books, and then just decided to teach him. He also went from this boy. He's now actually in Melbourne. Yeah. So if you see, yeah, I mean, his parents also like that time just even though I was a young guy, just open their house and say, okay lah, I trust you, and give me the opportunity. So yeah, I taught IGCSE. My very first student was IGCSE, and then during then, this was like about 15 years ago.
wow.
Not many people were doing IGCSE. In fact, not many international schools also.
Yeah.
Only in the recent years, I would say, like maybe the past 5 to 10 years, slowly all these international school pop up like mushroom like that. Yeah. So I just continued doing lah the IGCSE syllabus. People keep finding for me. People just refer word of mouth. I wasn't even online. And yeah, long story short, right now I've been doing this for almost 15 years.
Wow. I see. So how would you compare the current SPM math syllabus and Ed maths with today's IGCSE?
I to be honest, I haven't really seen the national school, the SPM syllabus in a while. So I roughly briefed through. So I taught my cousin for a while. I think yeah, I mean both has its pros and cons. I think it's pretty similar. Just that SPM, because sometimes the format keeps changing, so students also get a bit confused. IGCSE at least you know what you need to study. You just need to practice. And then I think only in the recent change is the newest format lah. So which is maths and maths, you can't use calculator for the first paper already. So that's the only change after the many years. But I think IGCSE not much change. SPM, I don't really know, so I can't comment much. Yeah, on that.
Right. So moving on to your challenges, right? So what is one undeniable challenge operating NextGen Academy?
Challenges.
Yeah.
Mm, so running NextGen Academy, I think over the years, because like it at the end of the day, it's still a business. Like I have to earn my own money, so I don't work for anyone. I'm the founder of this company. So if sometimes got students, sometimes no students. When no students that time, and if this is my full-time job, then you know money law for the month.
Mm.
When you got students, then you earn money lah. Okay, so things I would say challenges most people in the industry would face is like, let's say like during school holidays, like month of November, December, or after exam. So if a bunch of students graduate already, then it's not that your business is bad, like your teaching is bad, but it's just the nature of the business. It's a cycle. So you have to know that for every business, the money goes up and down. Okay, this is on the business side. So other challenges is that for me, I've always had a passion. Like my goal is not to make money. Okay, that's not the primary goal, but to really help you all. If you see the tagline is to unlock your highest potential.
Right.
And I see it through mathematics and MS, because whether you like it or not, if you're for IGCSE student, you have to at least get a credit lah, right, for your
Yeah,
maths
yeah,
to go to the next stage of life.
exactly.
For me, is that I'm just giving you a stepping stone for you to go to your next stage. Some challenges, if students don't put in the hard work, however, whatever effort that I put in, it won't impact you also. So I always say that why every time when before I accept any students, is that I always ask you all first, are you willing to work hard or not?
So
And then
yeah,
I always say it's about your mindset first. If you're not willing to work hard, if your mother forced you to be here today, don't join my class. Okay, because got other tuition center will accept you. For me, I won't accept you, because I only want to help students who want to achieve their highest potential. Or okay, not even your highest, like you want to improve yourself lah. It's all about self-improvement. Only if you want that, then I can guide you through. Then I can guide you to the next step. So those are some challenges. Yeah, so I do once in a while. Sometimes I accept some students also. Then after observation, I will just tell their parents. I say, you know what, maybe I'm not the best fit for your student. Go and find some other teachers who can really help them motivate. Because for me, it's really not about the money. For me, is as long as I can help you see value in me, then I will guide you through. Then that is what really keeps me going lah.
right. So I, in my opinion, I think what makes you unique from your competitors, right? I mean, there are other maths tuition teachers online, from YouTube and whatnot. And to me, what makes you really different is how you have this system called Thinkific, where you store all your previous lessons videos all in such an organized manner, like what I said earlier this podcast. And I think that is to be honest, that was the selling point. That totally sold my actually sold my mom to actually consult you and get more
Mm,
further details about the fees and all. Right.
mm,
So let's sidetrack a bit. I think we talked
okay.
a lot about Next Gen Academy and the business side of things. Let's talk about you. You know, I heard that you have some sort of ambition of being a professional footballer as well. Uh, I heard from the previous uh, interviews that you have been through. So what about it?
Oh, that was long time ago, man. Yeah. So primary school, I love football. Right now a bit old already lah. So not so fast anymore. So primary school, I think football was the one that made me a very competitive person. So primary school, I used to play before school, during recess, after school, and then when I come back from school, I'll play another 2-3 hours.
Ooh,
One day, I don't know how many hours I play football. Like really, yeah, it's like an obsession like that lah. And that was my entire primary school life. Secondary school life also I still play, but slightly less. Yeah, but I just didn't continued on lah. But because of how they last time when you're young you say you want to be a professional football player, then all the uncle aunties will say, yeah, Malaysia, but cannot earn money one.
Yeah.
So, when you're young, but I guess that's reality also like in Malaysia.
That's right.
You can do it as a hobby. But I think football has taught me a lot of things, like in terms of mindset and all. I remember I was so competitive that all I did was I wanted to win. So, yeah, football, I think being involved in a sport is a very good thing lah for your, not just for your body but for your mind also.
Yeah. Yeah, I won't elaborate so much on my background because this podcast is not just about me. So, yeah, I realized from my previous episode, I talked a lot about me. So I got to stop. So I got to change things a bit. So right, you mentioned that your mom is a Chinese teacher. Teaches the language Mandarin, and I think that she plays a big influence of what you're doing right now. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I think from young I always observed my mom teaching Mandarin. So she teaches Mandarin from kids as young as, I don't know, 3-4 years old up to students up to 80 over years old. So yeah, a huge range of students. I always saw, like from young, I always observed the way that she teaches people, and then how people was very happy also when they could speak the language. So she taught Mandarin. So from someone who is probably not Chinese also, or never spoke Mandarin before, managed to have a conversation. They always say, oh, now I can order food in Mandarin already when I go to the hawker store and all. And people are very happy. So I realized that, and that was my mom's skills, and my mom was also very patient, guiding someone, because when you learn a language, you have to keep pronouncing it, you have to keep practicing it. Same like football or anything that you want to practice, it's all about reps, right?
Yeah.
So for you as a coach, like my mom is the coach, right? You have to be very patient with your student. When you're patient, maybe some of them not too good, not everyone got talent on it. You
Yeah.
still have to patiently guide them to achieve their goal. And when they achieve their goal, so like let's say if you put yourself, you have a good coach to achieve your goal to be the best football player and you can score all the goals in the next football match, then the coach also very happy, right? And I could see my mom also very happy, and the player, which is the student, also very happy. So I think being a teacher, when I observe her, I saw like you have a sense of fulfillment when you teach others. Whatever you teach can be Mandarin. It doesn't have to be with studies. It might be football. It might be in the gym. Yeah, anything.
Right. Well, that's great to hear that you get inspired by your parents, and I think that wraps up today's episode. Guys, it's a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you for your time, man. Stay awesome.
Ever like the narco, got dope like Pablo, cut dope like Pablo, chop trees with the Draco, on the knob got Diego, say hasta luego, we'll be in rapping kilo.